The honest truth of why I stopped going to the nail shop to get my eyebrows and nails done, the honest truth, let me tell y'all what happened to me. So, I haven't stepped foot into a nail or a brow shop, one of those shops, since 2021. Haven't stepped foot. I went to go get my brows done, right? And I got up off the table. Everything was fine. Brows looked good. As I started to walk to the front to pay, this odor was like blowing in my face. It wasn't a pleasant odor at that. The odor was giving wide open ass. Let's just say that. It was wide open ass. So for me, I was like, dang, somebody in here stink. So I was looking at the ladies that I was laid up next to, like maybe it's one of them. Like one of these girls stank. So as I made my way to the counter to pay, I just was like, dang, like this smell is strong. So I asked my boo, I was like, yo, can you smell me? Do I stink? Like, I'm starting to smell this ass smell. Do I stink? So he started to sniff me up and down. So when he got right in here in my forehead, his face turned up. It screwed up real bad. So I was like, what's wrong? And he was like, your face smells like butt. So my mouth just dropped open. And this is why I had money in my hand. And the lady was just like staring at me, and she had a mask on. She was just staring at me, stupid. And as I looked straight back, the guy that did my eyebrows, he was like scrolling on his phone with one hand and literally scratching his ass crack with the other. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not gonna pay for this. And she was like, why you not gonna pay? Why you not gonna pay? And I was like, girl, he's scratching his ass. And I said, my face smells like ass. I'm not paying for this. So when she looked back, he was still scratching his ass. Someone heard me say that to the lady at the cash register, and they ran back there and was like, what are you doing? Like, you can't scratch your ass and this and that, whatever. And they made him wash his hands. I mean, I did end up not paying for my eyebrows. They did offer like, oh, come back, please. Like, get your nails done for like half price or this and that. But I didn't want that. I just don't, girl, it was traumatizing. It was traumatizing. So after that, I just stopped going to the nail shop. I mean, I have saved so much money doing my eyebrows myself and my nails myself. Yeah, so that's why I stopped going.
Story time of another service for service gone wrong. Now, before we get into the story time, the holidays is not my favorite time of year, so I'm sorry if I've been MIA, but we back. So boom, this was when I was very new to doing nails and I only had a few clients, and one of these clients was a recurring client and she does hair. Every time this girl would come get her nails done, it would be small little inconveniences. For example, per my policy, it says that I don't allow extra guests, and she showed up with her best friend. And then another time, she had a client herself after getting her nails done and she forgot to wash their wig. So she brought it to my house just thinking I would let her wash it in my sink and pluck it. Anyway, so one day I wanted my hair done and I asked her if she wanted to do service for service because she had already been asking me about it. So boom, we agreed to a time, the day comes up, and the original plan was that I go to her house to get my hair done. She wanted me to bring a chair to her house to get my hair done. Said it was because she didn't have any furniture. Okay. Now, I didn't really like the idea of driving with a whole chair in my back seat just to get my hair done, so I asked if she could come over to my house instead and I just pay her a travel fee. So the day comes when she has to do my hair, and she was already a little late because she said she didn't have any braiding gel. How you a braider with no braiding gel? Then when she shows up to my house, she brings the black liquidy gel that doesn't hold anything. Shine and Jam, of all things, doesn't hold anything but a box of Cheez-Its. Anybody who gets their hair braided knows that you need a good gel to get your hair braided. And I had just bought this edge control that was mad expensive from the beauty supply, and she asked to use it. Mind y'all, I already paid for the hair, the travel fee, provided her a brush and a comb, and even the braiding hair stand. And now you want to use my $17 edge control? Alright, so I let her use it because I wanted my hair to be cute. And as soon as the appointment was finished, my hair was cute. So we say our thank yous and she goes about her way. Then the day comes for her to get her nails done. And she was supposed to come at 10 a.m. I get set up and everything, and I'm waiting on her. 11 goes by, no text, no call. 12 goes by, no text, no call. 1 p.m., no text, no call. So I'm just sitting there, and I decide to put everything back up because I already had a bad feeling about this whole situation. The whole day goes by, and she never said anything to me. And I think the day after that is when she texted me and asked if she could reschedule for another day. I didn't even want to take her again, but we was already doing service for service, so I was trying to uphold my end of the deal. So the rescheduled appointment day comes, and still, again, no call, no show. So now I'm pissed because I had to take off work that day just to do her nails. So I posted on my story that day that I will no longer be accepting service for service. Then she had the nerve to reply to my story asking if she could still get her nails done. Like, girl. She goes on to say that she's in some type of school that doesn't let her wear nails, blah, blah, blah. But why couldn't you tell me that? Ultimately, she kept begging me for an appointment and I let her reschedule again. Then the next morning, I wake up to a text from her saying, actually, I don't want my nails done. Can you just pay for the hairstyle? Are you crazy? After all the supplies I had to provide you with just to do my hair, after taking off days from work to do your nails and you didn't show, now you want me to pay for the hairstyle. So I tell her no, I'm not paying her for the hairstyle, that I'm sorry, but no. She kept on going, trying to justify why she should get paid, and I kept saying no, but she kept just bugging the fuck out of me. Now, mind y'all, before I took her as a client, we had already followed each other on Instagram, and the friend that she brought to her appointment that she wasn't supposed to, I also followed on Instagram. So as I'm telling her no, that I'm not paying for the style, her friend posts on Instagram notes and says, "Lil hoe better pipe down because now I'm getting mad." What? So now I'm mad as fuck, and I want to say fuck both of y'all because y'all are not getting shit from me. But I was trying to be professional, so I just blocked the friend and had the girl tell me the price of the hairstyle minus all the stuff I had to provide. And of course, I could tell that she didn't take off the stuff that I had to provide, so I did it myself. So I tell her I'll pay her the money and I block her. So first I sent $50 on Cash App, right? Then 2 weeks go by and it's literally my next pay period and she had the nerve to request another $50 from me. Now, I really did not want to pay her this other $50, but I talked to my parents about it and they were just telling me that this is just the way business goes and basically I just have to take my L on this one. So I end up sending her the money, and in the Cash App notes, I told her that now you have your money and to leave me the fuck alone. She never spoke to me again, and that was that. Never doing service for service ever again.
So let me tell you guys why I had to ban one of my clients, and this is not recent. It happened over a year ago. Keep in mind, I have a camera in the nail room, which is not hidden. It's out in the open where everyone can see it. And my boyfriend and I live together, so we're both able to log into the Wise app. So this was a new client. She came in for her appointment. Everything was good. I didn't feel no weird vibes at all. So we get to the part where she has to go to the bathroom to wash her hands. I walk her to the bathroom and then I come back into the room to clean everything up. So after she comes back from the bathroom, I then go into the bathroom to wash my hands. After I come back from the bathroom, I then go on my phone to look for the inspo pic, and I saw that my boyfriend has sent me a message saying, "What does she put in her bag?" I don't remember exactly what I replied back, but I think I said, "What do you mean?" But we didn't have a back and forth conversation because I was still in the middle of doing my client's nails. This client was really sweet, so honestly, I really had no idea what my boyfriend was even talking about, so that's why I kind of ignored it and didn't really think much of it. So we usually had the sensitivity to the camera in the nail room on low, just because I was in here all day long, and any little movement the camera would pick it up and then notify the phone, and it was just really annoying. So that's why we always had the sensitivity on low. So my boyfriend has said that while I was in the bathroom, he started to get a bunch of notifications that there was movement in the nail room, which was weird, again, because the sensitivity was low. So somebody had to been like moving a lot for the camera to pick it up and notify us. Because of all the notifications that was coming from the nail room, that's why my boyfriend decided to go into the app and see what was going on. In the video, you can see that she's waiting for me to go into the bathroom to basically move around and like touch anything. Her entire like body language was very, very suspicious. I had loyalty cards on my desk. As soon as she heard the bathroom door close, she quickly grabbed the loyalty card and put it in her bag. But she grabbed it in a way where it looked like she didn't want me to see her grabbing a loyalty card, which didn't make any sense to me because it was on the side where my client sits, right in front of them. So I don't know why she made it look so suspicious. So because she grabbed the loyalty card so fast, it looked extremely suspicious. So that's why my boyfriend had texted me saying, what did she put in her bag? I couldn't even tell either what it was that she put in her bag until I watched the video like 5 times, just because she did it so quick and just so suspicious. So this is where it gets really weird. After she takes the loyalty card, she starts snooping around my desk, which to this day I have no idea what it was that she was looking for because she didn't take anything else other than the loyalty card. After I seen the videos, I didn't say anything to her or ask her about it just because I wasn't sure if she was gonna book again. But guess what? She ended up booking again like about a month later. And honestly, guys, don't even ask me why I took her again because I really don't know. I just didn't know how to go about declining her appointment because she was just so nice. But because of what happened last time she was here, I already knew I kind of had to be watching the cameras when I step out the room to wash my hands, even though I really didn't think anything was going to happen. So after the appointment, I start going over the cameras just to check and see if anything happened while I was in the bathroom. She did the same thing where she was watching me go into the bathroom and waiting for the door to close to move around. As soon as she heard the door close, she started snooping around my desk again. I don't keep my monomer in arm's reach of my client, and she ended up taking my monomer and literally sniffing it, guys. Like, she didn't just like smell it. No, she inhaled the monomer. So I guess she was trying to get high or something. Like, I literally have no idea because if I were to inhale the monomer the way she did, I would literally be passed out on the floor. So yeah, after that, I was like, yeah, no, I can't have this girl back in my home because now she's actually touching my shit and she's inhaling the monomer like a damn crackhead and she's concerning me. I didn't say all that to her, but I did send her the footage and I did tell her that I was not going to be servicing her anymore just because I felt very uncomfortable that she was snooping around my desk and touching my stuff. Her response didn't really make any sense. She basically said that she was just being cautious of her surroundings, which I'm not sure how you inhaling monomer for 10 seconds is being cautious of your surroundings. I mean, if anything, girl, you're probably going to start hallucinating or something. But anyway, guys, this is your sign to always have a camera in your room whenever you're servicing people because you just never know.
Story time of how a client used to lie to me to get discounts on her nails. Where do I even begin? This client had apparently found me through a close friend of hers who also happened to be one of my regular clients. Being the person that I am, I really love to start conversations and be in tune with my clients. In getting deeper into conversation, my client decided to tell me a little bit more about her life, or at least I thought it was her life. She told me many stories about how she ended up homeless and how she was sleeping on her friend's couch. And in those moments, I really did feel bad for her. And in feeling bad for her, here and there I would take a couple dollars off of her set. And she used to tell me that her way of paying me back was by wearing my nails in public and posting about me. She would return monthly to get her nails done again, but soon after I caught on to her story. When my regular client, who she had said to be close friends with, would come in to get her nails done, I would often ask about her friend's well-being and health if I hadn't seen her in a while. My regular would proceed to say that she was perfectly fine and in good health. She had then asked me why I was so curious about her. I was a little confused as to why my client was replying that way. She would reply in a way as to if having no idea about her friend. At this point, I was so confused. As the conversation between me and my regular began to unravel, I began to put 2 and 2 together and I realized that her friend was lying to me about everything. Follow and like for part 2.
Okay, story time on how I almost went to jail for a misdemeanor. I had this friend, her name was Kayla. I use real first and last names in my story time. Kayla Roberts, matter of fact, because I don't give a fuck who gonna check me. Anyways, Kayla Roberts, me and her had met on BLK. And I know you saying like, BLK, ain't that used for dating? But they actually do have a portion of the app where you can meet friends on there too. So back in my hometown, I'm from Tampa, Florida. I never really, too much meshed with people too well. Like when it came to friendships, making friends, unless I grew up with you, went to school with you, high school, whatever, like, whatever. So everything going off cool. We friends, we kicking it. But see, this is the problem, not only in this friendship, but majority all my friendships. I am the hustler friend. Ayla was the friend who was used to her mama taking care of everything. She was the only child. Whenever we would go out to eat, she got her mama card. She swiping her mama card. Mama. Me, on the other hand, we've been friends long enough for her to watch me move out my mama house into a college apartment and move out that college apartment into my own 1-bedroom. I was going to cosmetology school when we first met, so I was really into doing hair, doing nails. I was even selling hair. I had my own business selling hair. I'm installing her wigs for free. I'm doing her nails for free. Whatever she need, I got her, right? Boom. Then we stopped being friends. We fell out because I wanted to go to Orlando for my birthday. If you know anything about Florida, Tampa and Orlando is only like an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours from each other, depending on how fast you could jet it down 275. Well, no, that's I-4. That's all I want to do for my birthday. Go to Orlando, have a little get together with my friends. Kayla Roberts tells me, oh no, let's get a rinky-dink motel for the weekend, and then let's wait till my mama can get us a hotel discount with her rewards from Hilton. But you want me to go to Puerto Rico with you for your birthday. So we fell out. Fast forward, a whole year and a half later, almost 2 years goes by. Apartments that I'm living in, Kayla and her mom lives in the same apartment. But the whole time I'm living in these apartments, been living in them for a whole year, never seen Kayla or her mom. I'm sitting in my house minding my business, rubbing my toes together. I get a knock at the door. And the knock just keep getting harder and harder. Like they banging. So I'm like, this, they knocking like the police. I get up, I look out my window, it's the police. So at this point now, I'm shitting bricks because me, I stay out of trouble. I mind my business. Trouble always come find me. You get what I'm saying? They pass me some paperwork and they say, you've been served. I look at the paperwork, it's a report. I look at the paper and it's from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and the state of Florida suing a case against me for a misdemeanor of operating a specialty salon without a license. Now, mind you, at the time, I'm finishing up my nail license in school. So now I'm shitting bricks because I'm worried that I might not even be able to graduate. I'm worried that I'm about to be going to jail. I'm full of rage. I'm full of anger. The first thing I do is bust out my house and drive right over to her mama house and I bang on the door. I'm knocking. Boom, 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 boom. Her mama opened the door. Who are you? I looked at her mama. Don't try to play crazy with me. You know who I am. Your daughter then reported me to the state board. How would you like it if somebody played with your money? Her mama ain't want no smoke and she kept saying that her daughter was not there. 5 to 10 minutes after me leaving, Kayla DMs me on Instagram. Oh, don't come back around my house. I'ma call the police. Oh, now you want to call the police. So basically, Kayla went out her way to try and book a fake appointment with me through my booking site and then didn't book the appointment, used a whole nother number, everything. Like, it wasn't from my Android, it was from my iPhone, like this was premeditated. Then sent those same said messages, my booking page, my Instagram, everything, to the Florida Department of Cosmetology. And with me still being in school and not being technically licensed, that is a misdemeanor in the state of Florida. Luckily, God was in my favor. I went to court. And all I had to do was like 30 hours of community service and pay a $500 fine. But to all of my entrepreneurs out there in the beauty industry, be careful who you call your friend and be careful who you be doing services on, knowing that you do not have a nail license, an esthetician license, no any of that. Because, baby, there are real consequences behind that and you real deal can be sitting in jail. I could have been sitting in jail for 6 months on a misdemeanor charge.
Y'all want the story time on how this ghetto ass black nail tech. Here we go. This black ghetto nail tech, right? Y'all want the story, so I'm gonna give y'all the story. But yes, the nails is done because y'all wanna see the nails, right? I'm gonna see the nails. Although she did my nails nice, even though some is crooked, leaning to the left. I ain't even gonna lie. It's leaning to the left, like 1 or 2 of them, but I didn't notice until after I left, so we're not even gonna talk about that. She good. I'm not even one of those that's like, I'm a perfectionist, but I ain't one of those that's about to be on your body, feel me? Okay, so, yeah, the appointment was ghetto as fuck. No, let me stop, let me take that back. Bro, just stop booking these bitches, that's more the story, that's what I'm talking about. I'm good, thank you. I'm grown, miss, thank you, I appreciate it though, thank you. It's okay, thank you, appreciate it for the guidance. I got a whole 4-year-old, I know how to cross the street, thank you though. The fuck, you trying to tell me how to fucking cross the street, bitch? Like, I swear, be the older people, they be jealous of young people, like, calm down, not so much. You got your kids, you birth your kids, like, I'm not your fucking kid, bitch. Tell me to back the fuck up, bitch. You back the fuck up, bitch. Your big ass belly gonna get hit, bitch. Not me, my small ass. How the fuck I'm in the way? I'm right here on the side curb. I'm good. Yeah, it's part 2. That lady just got me today. I'm gonna that's what we're not allowed to do. Yes. You're not about to do that, miss. What are you talking about? Like, mind your business. If I want to get hit, maybe I want a lawsuit. Fuck you, like, the fuck? I don't be understanding people. Like, stop minding your business. If I'm not saying nothing, like, the fuck, I'm good. But anyways, yeah, y'all wanted to see the nail review. They good, but that's not the point. The point was that bitch was very unprofessional as fuck. Like, that was the problem. And I just was like, yeah, I'm not having that. But now we in my hood with it, so I wish somebody would play with me. Somebody gonna play with me, I'm not gonna play. But today we're gonna say a boogie outside, guys. So a boogie with the bitty dash, and we're gonna go see a boogie today. You know? I need to get me an outfit, so we wanna go get us an outfit. Nobody bothering me today, as they motherfucking should. I don't wanna be bothered. I see the headphones on for me. Yeah. I just got myself that fish. Let me happy. Let me go. Alright, y'all wanted the story. I'm gonna give y'all the story. Y'all see the nails, right? The nails is nice. Even though it's leaning. Y'all see this one leaning? And there's like another one leaning. But they nice though. So y'all wanted a story time? I'm gonna give y'all guys story time. Yeah. So what did we not have to do? Because this way, it's about to get tight. Right? And here come the fucking cars. Here they are. What you need to do? Ain't nothing your way. Hold on, y'all.
Stuck now application while I give you a story time about my client from hell. Let me start off by saying that I have never had an experience like this ever in the 4 years of me being a nail tech. So to some it might not seem that serious, but to me, I'm a little bothered. So boom, this client was a new client, and on the walk into her appointment, she was on the phone. Now, I don't be trying to eavesdrop on any of the conversations, but sis was loud with what she was saying. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't know the full story, but all I heard was her saying that, oh, this girl's talking about she gonna call the cops, but she don't even have my real name or address. And I could just get the hair by a different name. She don't even know my real name. So if I really wanted to, I could still get the hair from a different name. And laughing about it. So I'm like, all right, we are in New York City. Everybody scams. It just is what it is. But imagine this is your first time client and she's walking in and saying these things. So immediately my radar is up. But I'm trying to play it cool. I'm so bad in awkward situations like that, but I just try to take it as it is what it is. And, you know, the forms of payment that I take, you really cannot scam me. So we proceed on through the appointment. Now, I'm not going to lie. The appointment went really well, like really, really well. Sis kept good conversation. She kept me entertained. We went back and forth about our stories. Got to know her a little better. And you know, I'm like, you know, I can't judge people off of what they're doing with other people. As long as you're not trying to get over on me, we are good. Fast forward her appointment and she loves her nails and we are done with the set. She paid cash. Everything was good. So now I get a booking and she rebooks me about a month later. I continue my day as normal. I actually had a morning client before her. I believe she was supposed to come at 1:30. She ended up texting the number that is on my booking site, which is a text-free number, so I don't always get those notifications. In the message, she's saying she has an appointment with me and she wants to know if she can come an hour earlier, which honestly couldn't have happened regardless because I did have a morning client and it was an extravagant By the time I see her message, it's about 10 minutes before her real appointment. So I apologize and I let her know that I did not see that message and to let me know when she gets here because I will meet her at the door and let her in. Again, I apologized. She then responds to me, you could go ahead and cancel that 1:30 appointment. I'm not going to make it. So then I let her know my policy that same day cancellations do result in a $50 fee and that you're able to reschedule one time using that same deposit. So she can look on my website and let me know another day that she wants to come. I'm going to have to make this video a part 2 because obviously my story is too long. So stay tuned. Let me know what you think so far because this isn't even the half of it.
Story time on a client that kept coming back and gave me issues every single time and I still didn't bend her. So originally her appointment was at 4 o'clock and I asked her if she could come in at 2 instead. She said that it would be okay for her to come in at 2, but she would have to bring her siblings because her mom was at work. And also it would be easier for her so she could just go straight to her dad's afterwards.
I totally understand about the whole sibling thing because I have siblings and I'm the oldest child. So I'm like, yeah, girl, that's totally fine. Whatever. So she comes into her appointment with her both siblings. So it's the client, her 15-year-old sister, and then the 8-year-old little boy. The little 8-year-old boy is right in the back, and we're thinking he's coming into the nail room. But then we realize that he's trying to open my front door for my house. So I'm like you can't go in there. And then the client is telling him like, hey, come over here, like it's over here. And he's just trying to argue and trying to say like, no, like I want to go in the house. And then I'm like, bro, mind you, that door is wide open midsummer, so you know the flies, the mosquitoes, everything's gonna go into the room. So I'm irritated because I see all these flies coming in while we're trying to argue, and like he's trying to argue his case, and I'm like, hey, like you can't go in there. I have 2 sisters, and also my dog is in the house. So if she sees you come in and she doesn't know who you are, she's gonna attack you. And he's just like, okay, so why is your dog there in the first place? And then he starts heading towards the nail room. He finally sits down, and then when I'm working, he's like, oh my God, like, nail tech, hey, nail tech. And so I'm just like, bro. So then the client was like, hey, girl, just say that you're about to give me a wooden spoon because that's how my mom fixes him. So I'm like, hey, girl, would you like a wooden spoon? So then the little boy starts whining and crying. He's like, okay, I'm going to stop. He finally gets quiet. All you hear is bzz, 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 the flies, because they're fat. They're big old flies. And that's all I'm hearing. So I'm already getting irritated by the flies, and then, the little boy. So after that, the little boy out of nowhere gets up. He's like, oh my God, these flies are getting on my nerves. And I'm like, bro. So then I have a fly swapper right next to him because it's on top of the dryer or the washer. He gets up and he starts to swing it. So I'm just looking like, bro, what the fuck? And then the client isn't saying anything. Like, she's kind of laughing it off like it's funny. But I'm sitting there like serious because what's going on right now? So then he's getting closer, and I see him getting closer to my room, to like where we're at, where the nail table's at. And so I finally get up and I snatch the swapper from him. And I'm like, if you don't stop, I'm hitting you with this in the face. Like, stop. So both sisters, the client and her other sister, were not doing anything. So I finally told my client, I was like, you have to tell them like to go to the car. Like, I can't do this, basically. And for me to finish your nails and focus just on your nails, since your dad is rushing me throughout the entire service, like, you need to let them know that I have to go to the car. So she finally gives them the car keys. They go to the car. And then, mind you, this is not the first situation I've dealt with this girl. Like, I've had multiple situations with her. I just didn't have the heart to bend her because I was a beginner, and I was like not trying to bend anybody because I didn't want no bad rep on me. Like, I was just like, I don't want nobody talking shit, like none of that. So she finally, like, is apologizing about her dad rushing me. She's apologizing about her brother acting out. And I'm just like, you're a good girl. Like, it's fine. I got her nails done. I finally finished. She gets up. She gives me the money, and then she tipped me like $10. And then like later on, I guess like an hour or two later, she messaged me and she's like, hey girl, I'm so sorry about like the whole incident. And she tips me another $25, but she never came back after that, y'all, because she knew that she was in the wrong. Like, I did not have to deal with that, but I did either way. And a lot of the time people question why like a nail tech or lash techs have so many policies in place, but typically it's because we experience stuff like this and then we're just over it.
Story time of service for service gone wrong. So boom, I had just flown back home and I was desperately looking for new clients. I saw that a piercer in my area was looking to trade services, so I offered to do her hands for a piercing. She asked if I wanted 2 piercings for both her hands and feet, and I agreed. Mind you, I've been going to this same piercer for years, so I thought I could trust her. The day comes to the appointment and it's set at 4:30. She doesn't show up until 6 p.m., y'all. And she smelled like za. Like za to the point where my entire house smelled like it. Even my mom noticed it. Now, I have a lot of clients who puff, but they never make my entire house smell. I already started to get bad vibes from her, and honestly, I shouldn't have even waited that long for her in the first place. We start on my piercings, and as soon as she pierced me, I started to see stars. I told her let's wait on the other piercing because I was starting to get lightheaded. So I start on her nails, and for a $50 piercing, you would think she would keep it simple, but nah, this girl wanted it all. Duckies, designs, chrome, charms. Now, mind you, my timing wasn't that great at this point, so by the time I moved on to her toes, it was already 10 p.m. Then she asked me, will we be done by 11? And honestly, her toast smelled so bad to the point that I was happy to be done by 11. So I rushed and finished by 11, and her ride was already waiting for her. So she asked if I could text her when I wanted my other piercing. 2 days go by, and I asked her if I could come get my other piercing. She said yes to come at 5:30, so I start heading her way. She's late again, and it gets to 6 p.m., and then she asked for another 20 minutes to get set up. So I continue waiting for her until about 7:30 when I sent her a message that I would no longer be waiting for her. And y'all, this girl didn't even reply. 4 days later, I sent her a message asking if she can just pay me since she wasn't going to answer. I kept telling her how it's not cool what she's doing and that I needed to get paid. After about a week, she texted me back and said that she's had quote unquote the worst week of her life, like I care, and I honestly couldn't. I just wanted my money. I then noticed that she blocked me off of her story because I went on another account and saw that she was out drinking with her friends. Weeks go by and our chat is filled with me just asking her for my money and her just saying when I get paid or I'm waiting on my money to hit. I ended up blocking her and I never got my money. The main thing that really pissed me off was that she was in my chair acting like she's my friend and posting me on her story just to do me dirty like this. She even told me in my chair that her clients were threatening to pew up her house, and I guess this behavior is why. Moral of the story, don't do service for service, even with the people that you think you can trust.
Story time of one of my weirdest experiences as a nail tech. The night before her appointment, I hit her up to make sure she's read over all my policies to make sure we have like a smooth appointment, right? Then she hits me up with can my boyfriend come with me? I was just like, no girl, like I'm sorry, I don't allow extra guests, which was also part of my policies. But then later on, she's like, okay, how about my mom? And I'm like, no girl, I'm sorry, like, you know? Anyways, it's the day of her appointment. She texts me, hey, I'm here. I'm like, perfect. I come outside. As soon as she walked in, I swear, I felt like kind of off from the start, but I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, so I'm just like pushing it off, trying to get everything started. But Shawty looked scared. Like, she looked kind of like on edge and nervous. So I asked her if she wanted some water, right? That day, I didn't have any more water in my little mini fridge in my nail room. So I just stepped out real quick to get a water bottle that was like up in my living room. And I see that she stands up behind me and tries to follow me. And I'm like, oh, like, could you just wait right here? I'll be right back. I walk back into my nail room and then I see that she like kind of like rushed over to the chair to sit back down. And I was like, like she was supposed to be sitting, but I just kept ignoring it because I was like, no, I'm just tripping today. Because I'm telling you, like, on long days, the monomer be getting to you. So I asked her what her inspo is, and this is what she wanted. So after she sent it to me through text, I went to go screenshot it, but I had my ringer on, so it made that little, like, screenshot noise, right? And I'm not gonna lie, my armrest at the time was really wobbly, so I was like, okay, like, it's whatever. But she made the whole armrest, like, flip over, and her head was almost, like, onto my side. And Shawty's like, what did you just take a picture of? And I'm like, I just screenshotted your inspo so I could zoom in. So from there is when I started to feel, like, kind of weird inside. But I always try to look at the good in people, so I let it go again. And I try to just talk about, like, school and where she's from, and she's coming from an hour away. So I had that in the back of my mind, like, damn, like, it's for prom, she's coming far, like, I gotta do good, like, extra good, you know? And she just randomly asked me, like, oh, like, you have cameras outside? Because I have, like, a little, like, screen where I can see, like, when my clients are walking in. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, like, how many do you have? Like, where are they pointing? Like, who can see them? And I'm like, ooh, girl. During this whole time, this girl was sniffing her nose, like, you know, like, constantly, to the point where I was, like, looking up, like, are you good? And, like, just constantly, like, jittering around on the chair, like, moving and moving and moving. And I understand it must be hard for clients to sit there for, like, 2 hours and stuff. But I'm like, Jesus, like, anyway, she asked me for more water. I come back into the room again. And she had gotten hella snacks from my little, like, snack cart. And I love when my clients go ahead and, like, feel themselves at home and stuff. But it was, like, I kid you not, like, 3 sodas and already the 2 waters I had given her and, like, chips. And I was like, dang, okay. But she tells me, like, oh, it's because I haven't taken my medication. And so I'm like, yeah, like, no problem. And now I'm, like, piling up ideas in my head because I, like, you know, you can't help it. Like, you have a whole stranger in your house and it's just one thing after another. So I'm kind of getting on edge myself. I get into my filing and tell me why she took the file out of my hand. I'm beyond flabbergasted because I've never thought that would happen to me before. Like, I've always seen memes about it, but I'm like, no way. As she's over here filing her nails herself, I'm thinking in my head how I can tell her that I don't feel comfortable continuing her service. But I also felt so bad because she drove an hour to see me and it was prom. So the good in me, I was like, no, like, I'll just suck it up. But later, I start doing the design and she's like, oh, like, how much longer? My boyfriend's asking, like, he's getting tired of waiting outside. And so I'm like, oh, like, around this much. And she's like, dang, okay. And then I'm like, almost done, and she asked me for more detailed designs that she wanted to add and this and that. I'm like, okay, I can do that, but it's gonna take you longer. And she told me she was fine with it. So I go ahead and continue on to the design that she wanted. Everything starts falling on the floor. That's when I start shaking. That's when I just start losing it. Like, I'm getting so anxious because I'm like, oh my God, like, I want her out. And she also needs to be out because he's going crazy outside. But then she's like, oh, like, he really is getting really mad. Like, he's saying that he needs to come in here to make sure that everything is good. Like, he doesn't believe me, da, da, da. Like, he's really pissed outside. Like, he's saying that if I don't get out in a few minutes, like, he's going to storm through your door. And I'm like, storm through my door? Like, what? Now I feel threatened. Now I'm scared. Why? Like, this is my house. Like, no one should ever feel like that in their home. Okay, now, long story short, it's time to pay. I asked her, like, how she wanted to pay, either with card or cash. And she's like, oh, like, I don't have either. And I'm like, okay, like, do you have Cash App? Hello? And she's like, no, like, I can download it, though. So I'm in my head, like, so how are you gonna pay? She's asking me if she could get the money from him outside. And I'm like, oh, baby, no. After, like, 15 minutes, she finally made the account. She sent me the money. I escorted her out, locked the doors. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. What would you have done in my situation?
Literally sticking with the new nail tech girl is from now on because I'm over it. So I go into the shop, right? And I show them, originally I wanted aura nails. Y'all know the trend, the aura nails one. So they're like, oh, that's cat. Like, it's like, I guess they refer to it as cat design, whatever. And I'm like, what? And mind you, this other girl came in and asked for the same design because I kept hearing them say, oh, no, we don't have that. That's cat, that's cat. And I just think they just didn't know how to do it. Because they were like, oh, it's a certain tool that you need. And I'm like, okay. Of course, I pivot. So I'm like, all right, instead of us doing that, oops, sorry, you guys know you gotta pay attention when you use Juvia's. So instead of that, I'm like, all right, let's just do this design, which basically I showed them a base color, which was like nude, and then abstract lines, but I was like, make the abstract lines like neon blue, so chrome, whatever. Honestly, I felt like it was a pretty doable design for them to do, and they said they could do it, so they did it. So the first guy was doing the foundation of my nails, right? Then he brought me over to this other lady who did the design. So as she's doing the abstract lines, right, she begins to put the blue, right? And then she starts to do the chrome, and that is where everything went wrong. So as she's doing the chrome, I'm noticing that the chrome is bleeding into the black. So I'm like, wait, hold on. So I point it out as soon as I see it. So then she proceeds to tell me, oh, no, like, it's fine, like, we fix it, like, I know, like, it's not done. So I'm thinking, okay, I gotta just trust the process, because she's saying, oh, she's not done yet, she sees it. So then I notice, like, we're about to finish, right? And she starts putting on the top coat. Ma'am, why are you putting on the top coat right now? So I then remind her, I'm like, oh, wait, like, it still doesn't look good. Like, look at the black. And she's like, I know, it's hard. So then that is what got me upset. Because how dare you look at me in my face and proceed to just, like, end the service, and you know that my nails look crazy. Like, there was no attempt to even fix it. She could have outlined it black, do something. Like, I already paid. You had to pay before your service was done. My mom said I should have known, and I really should have. Who makes you pay before the service is done? I paid $90, guys. Just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. Like, I am so upset. I feel like I got ripped off. I was like, oh, no. Like, this needs to get fixed. So the manager comes over because I don't know if she called over because at that point they were speaking in their language. So I don't know why she came over. Maybe she heard us, but I tried not to make a scene even though I was very upset. So she's like, so I was asking her, I was like, well, you know what? Something has to be done with my nails because I can't leave them like this. And she goes, okay, like, yeah. And I was telling her, I was like, if she didn't know how to do the design, then she should have never agreed to do my nails. Like, it just, period, point blank, period. And she gaslit me even further by saying, oh, it's hard. No, you just lack the technical skill to do these nails. So I'm over here asking the manager, I'm like, okay, is there going to be like money taken off of this? Because I feel like I paid for the design and now I don't want the design anymore. I just want her to take everything off, do a one color chrome, that's it, right? One color chrome, that's it. She's like, no, like no refund, like same price. And I'm like, It's $90 for this, and it's short, and it's a fill-in. Did I forget to tell you guys? It's a fill-in. This is not a full set. So what I think they did, right? This is what I think they did. So their fill-in services are $35, I believe, or $40. I forgot. $35 or $40 for fill-ins. So I think she added on like 50 something extra dollars just to do these nails, which means that they charged me $5 a nail for chrome. That is insane. So they're both looking at me in confusion as if I don't make sense. So they're still talking in their language, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? So she's doing my nails, you know, she's redoing them, taking them off, and as she's doing them, she's like still talking to me like, you know, like this is easy, meaning like one color. Like, and of course it's easy, it's because you don't know how to do nails. Like, of course that's gonna be easy for you. Like, at this point, I just stopped talking to me. Like, that's kind of like where I was at that moment. I looked right at that manager and I was like, yeah, I'm never coming back here again. Like, so I called my mom, because at that point I was just being a big baby and I was upset. So I called my mom and I was just like, yeah, I'm never coming back here. Like, I'm so upset, blah, 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 blah. Where was my apology? Like, where was my, I'm sorry, like, I should have never done this if I didn't know how to do the design. And I feel like she kind of knew that she didn't know how to do nails, because when the manager walked by, she looked at what she was doing to me and she was like, oh, which means she's not used to doing stuff like that. So why would they put me in her chair? And I literally walked right out of there. Like, annoyed was not even the word. Like, I was just fed up. Like, I was like, I was in her chair for like 3.5 hours. Like, I'm never going to those shops ever again. And yeah.
Okay, y'all, 8-9 years of my nail tech, I've been going to her, and this is my worst experience with her ever in my life. Okay, so first of all, when I get there, they cheap elevators are broke down, cheapest elevators in the world. They just need to throw them in the trash. So I had to take their dirty steps, and look at it, dirty. Okay, anyways, she's all the way on the 9th floor, y'all, and I am pissed off telling this story because what the world. So she's all the way on the 9th floor. I walk all the way to the 9th floor, and let me tell y'all what this heifer tell me. She told me I was late to my appointment. This girl done booked me and another girl and made me get out the chair and wait till she was done with that girl. So I'm just sitting here waiting patiently. Here's her sister. I don't know if she a witch or she just trying to clear the air and make goodness, but baby, ain't nothing good going on in here. She keep fanning that smoke around. That ain't choking me. She need to just sit down, please. So she's fussing over length that I booked, and she's being very aggressive with my hands, and I was so pissed off. I just told her I was doing a TikTok to show y'all what I did with my day, but this ended up being a bad review for her. She gonna put pure leaf in the purple stuff, y'all. Tell me something. It's a new nail hat. Like, her name is the nail goat, but it need to be the nail note, because 10 out of 10 I don't recommend. I gotta pay now, y'all, here's us fussing over the price in your policy. She never told me that she upgraded her price or none of that stuff on her policy. No, I did not book freestyle. So y'all wouldn't know what she said. She said that the tip gotta match the price of the nails. Like, what? Are you serious? No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Why I fired a client, case number 6. As y'all know, I finished at case 5 a couple months ago because I didn't have another client that I fired. But we had a little situation play out this week. This was a new client of mine. She booked an appointment for her toes 1 month and said she was gonna try and leave her nail tech and start coming to me. Of course, wanting to lock her in, I ended up booking her appointment for her for the following month, which I never do, especially with new clients. But I was like, girl, let's lock you in, whatever. The month of May, I was pretty much gone the whole month on tour and on vacation. She ended up having a couple nails that needed to be fixed, which usually never happens with my clients. So my assistant took her in and fixed them. I closed out my books to the public and only had a set list of clients that I was going to service for June. So they were all contacted to book when my bookings opened, her included. Mostly all of my clients booked their spots, but she did not. She did confirm she wanted to be on the booking list for June, but she didn't book, so I texted her the remaining availability that I had for June. She said the earliest date that I gave her was still too far away, but beggars can't be choosers. She didn't book her own appointment, so all the slots were gone. She said she'd take that slot, but the following weekend told me she wouldn't be able to wait that long. And that's when everything went downhill. Go to part 2, I'm out of time.
Story time of one of the very few no-shows I've had as a nail tech. Now, before we get into the story, I do want to continue this little story time series. So if y'all have stories you want me to post on here, send them my way. So boom, this past summer, I was running a bestie bundle deal where you could bring a friend and y'all could get any design, any length for $175. Cool. I had this other regular client, well, almost a regular. She came to me like twice before this, and she decided to bring her friend / coworker with her. So we get to the appointment. When I tell y'all, the vibes were so good. Like, the talking, the live was jumping, we was eating birria tacos, like everything was going so good, y'all, at least for this first appointment. So I finished the nails, take pictures, get paid, bye. Then the friend that came with her texted me, I want to say like 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks later, and then she was like, oh, I want my nails done again. Shit, say less. So she sends me what she wants. I tell her the price, what to book. She books the appointment. Then the night before, I also confirmed this appointment because she booked for 8 a.m., y'all. Y'all know, if you're a nail tech, you know how them 8 a.m. appointments go. It's really a 50-50, especially with somebody new. But I was hoping she would come up because, I mean, you've been in my chair before, so I didn't think you was going to do this. So she says yes, that she's coming to her appointment. Everything's good. The next morning comes. It is like 7:55. I haven't heard anything from her. I text her to make sure she's on the way. I'm like, oh, are you almost here? She doesn't reply. 8 a.m. comes, still no reply. 8:05 comes, still no reply. 8:15 comes, still no reply. Now, in my policy, after 15 minutes, your appointment is canceled. So I was already back in my room at this point. Now, I don't get a lot of no-shows. So I was genuinely concerned for her well-being, especially since she had confirmed the night before. Like, I genuinely thought something happened to her. I'm checking her story to see if she posted. Nothing, right? This is what prompted me to not initially charge her card for missing her appointment. Then around 2 p.m., 3 p.m., this girl gonna post on her story like everything's cool. I was actually appalled, especially since I've been blowing up your phone. I then texted her that I would be charging her card the no-show fee since she decided to not show up. And her reply was that she told her friend. Be for real. You didn't tell me. And the worst part about it was that she paid with a Cash App card, so the charge did not even go through. And I'm the one that ended up blocked. Like, how'd that work? I should be blocking you.
Alrighty guys, this is going to be a story time when a client was banned from booking with me. I was about 18 and I had been doing nails for about a year now, and I was actually still living with my parents, so I was working from home. This was my first time booking this client, and she actually booked through Instagram. When she got here, she got off the passenger side, and then the driver ended up getting off with her. When she gets to the door, she asked me if her boyfriend could come in as well. Mind you, I don't allow guests, and I had let her know beforehand. I proceed to tell her, I'm sorry, but there's not enough room, and I don't allow guests. He then gave me the ugliest look and said, okay, I'm gonna wait for you out here. He goes back to his truck and she walks in with me. So 30 minutes have passed and I'm still on application. Then he starts honking outside and blowing up her phone. She answers him and says, I'm still doing my nails. And all I could hear is, hurry up, hurry up. My mom knocked on the door and said, hey, there's somebody honking outside like crazy. She's talking to him on the phone and I'm still doing her nails as fast as I can. He gets off and starts knocking on my door and asking to see her. My mom walks him into her room and says she's getting her nails done still. He says, how long is she gonna take? I told him I just had started 30 minutes ago. He sits down in the back of the room and just staring at us. So now it's me, my mom, him, and my client in the room. We're all just so uncomfortable and it's super awkward in there. Like 15 to 20 minutes later, he says, are you almost done? And I had just finished filing. No design or anything. It was literally just a nude color. Mind you, my client isn't saying anything at all. Okay guys, I'm going to tell you the rest in part 2.
Hey bitches, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a fill-in on these 2-week-old nails. That's why they're not really that grown out. But while you guys watch me do these nails, I'm gonna tell you guys another story time on why I had to ban another client. And don't forget to comment down below what you guys think about this, because I'm actually really curious to see if you guys think what I did was right or if I should have handled it a different way. But anyways, to start off the story time, this was a client that had only came to me one time before. And you know, everything went pretty good. I just did her nails. She was just watching the TV. And once I finished, she left. About a month later, she texts me and she says, "Hey girl, my sister wants to book a nail appointment. Is it okay if I give her your number? Do you do anything for referrals? I have 2 sisters that want their nails done." Now, I didn't respond right away because I was working on another client. So she ended up sending her sisters my number anyways. So then that's when I texted her, "Hey girl, I just got your sister's message. Thank you so much for referring them to me." So she proceeds to ask, "Do I get anything for referring them to you, like money off my next services or something? Question mark. I wanted to get my nails done too on the 19th or the 20th of this month. If you give anything for referrals." Now, before I go any further, I just want to explain why I don't do anything for referrals. The reason why I don't give discounts for referrals is because I have a lot of other things that I do for my clients, such as giveaways for free nail sets. I have loyalty cards. By the time they get all of their hole punches in, they could get a free set. But one of the main reasons as to why I wasn't really doing referrals at this time either was because I had just spent over $300 on gift boxes for my clients, because I was going to give them away for the month of December as a little gift. And keep in mind, it was October during this time. Last but not least, another reason why I don't do referrals is because it honestly wouldn't be fair for me to give her a discount for referring her sisters to me if I don't do that with my other clients. I honestly think when someone refers people to you, it's because it comes out of the heart, not because they expect something out of it. You know what I mean? Anyways, continuing on with the story time, that's when I had texted her. Unfortunately, I don't do that at the moment. I'm sorry. I'll definitely start doing that in the future though. And I always try to be very nice and calm when I'm texting clients back. Like, one thing I'm not gonna do is sit here and be rude to somebody, even if they're being rude to me, because at the end of the day, this is my job, you know? That's when she texts me, "Okay, unfortunately, we won't be coming anymore since I'm not able to get anything off, even $5 or something off." And I texted her back, "That's okay, sorry for the inconvenience." Now, I don't know about y'all, but that text did rub me off the wrong way. I don't know if it's because of the way I read it, or if she did mean it in a petty way. Exactly 5 days later, she texts me again asking to book an appointment. And I said yes, because I did not know that was her texting me for an appointment. I have so many unsaved numbers, so it just didn't register in my mind that that was the same person. So I said yes. She wanted some Michael Myers nails. I didn't have no stickers of Michael Myers, so I went as far as ordering her Michael Myers decals for her nails. Once the decals come in the mail, I go to text her, and as I'm scrolling up, I realize that this is the same girl who had just told me that she wasn't going to be coming to me anymore because I didn't give her $5 off her set. So once I realize, I immediately text her, and I'm like, "You know what, like, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize this was you, but I honestly don't feel comfortable doing your nails. I'll put the screenshot up on the screen so you guys can see exactly what I said." But it was something along those lines, and I ended up sending her a deposit back, and she just left me undelivered. So I want to know if I overreacted, or if you guys think that the way I acted was reasonable. When I did show the text to my parents, they were kind of like, "Girl, you shouldn't have said anything." But I feel like it's really important to set your boundaries too, because I feel like it's not fair to let people walk all over you. Because if this had happened when I barely started doing nails, I would have definitely gave her that discount and would have been like, "Girl, I'm so sorry, like, here you go." Long story short, if you don't agree with a service provider's rules, you can always book with somebody else. But yeah, that was my story. Thank y'all for watching. Bye!
Story time on my weirdest personal experience as a nail tech. So when this happened to me, I believe I was almost a year, if not a year, into doing nails. This girl had requested long acrylic French tips. Colors were very specific, so I mixed acrylics to get the perfect shades for her set. I believe at this time I had a 10 to 15 minute grace period, so at her appointment date, she was over 25 minutes late. I sent her a paragraph saying that I wasn't going to be able to service her anymore because I had a client scheduled after her, so I would have gotten backed up. Literally a minute after that, she sent me a message saying she was outside. Guys, at this time, I did not know how to stand up for myself. Tell me why I walked into my living room and my mom opened the door for her, so she was standing there. And I don't even know what it was, but out of pity or out of embarrassment, I ended up taking her. And I was going to charge her $55 for acrylic French tips. Since she was over 30 minutes late, I charged her a $10 fee in compensation for my client after her. When it came time to pay, she was on the phone with her dad saying how much it was going to be. And he started telling her to ask me to lower the price. I explained to her why I was charging her the fee. So she said, okay. And when her dad arrived there, I don't know how or who let him in, but this man ended up inside of my room begging me to lower the price. This is so embarrassing, but I did end up removing the fee. I was so naive, but let me know what you guys think of this weird experience.
Story time on how I fired my first client. So this was a client that's been coming to me for about 8 to 10 months probably, and she was an XL girly, so her services always took about 3 hours. Now let me just say this, she was literally late to her first appointment ever. And just like that saying people tell on themselves, yep, first day ever, and she was late. But I let it slide. It's a first time client. She was a referral from a good client of mine, so I was like trying to be nice, whatever. Charged her the late fee first day, and it was good. She was like super sweet. The appointment went well. She loved her nails, and after that we were locked in. She was super consistent about her nails, so she was in my chair after that like every 3 weeks. Her next few appointments she was on time, and then one day she no call no showed me. And this is where I went wrong, because my policy is that if you no call no show, you'll be banned from booking again, and I should have just cut it off then and there. So she doesn't text me until like the next day. Mind you, she's like liking my stories and stuff. So I was like, girl, you no call no showed me, like what's up? She ends up apologizing, and from here on out I ended up raising the deposit amount just for her to like $50, I think it was. So I told her, she understood, and she ended up rescheduling an appointment and paid her $50 deposit. Now at this point I'm starting to get the story mixed up myself, because she did this so many times again. Not the no call no show part, but rescheduling same day / canceling last minute. And each time she did it, she was charged the $50. So now let's get into the last straw, which is the reason that I fired her. She had an appointment with me, and it was at 10 a.m. I had such a long work day the day before, and I was feeling really tired and burnt out, so I texted her the evening before her appointment asking if she can just push it back to 11. She then responds and says she has a hair appointment at 2, so she won't be able to do that. Because it was so last minute and I don't like to do this to clients, I just sucked it up and ended up being there and ready by 10 a.m. anyway. I'm sure at this point you guys can guess what happened. This was her first time coming to the new suite location, so I texted her at 9:50 just confirming the address and letting her know that front desk will buzz her in. She responds at 10:09 saying she's running late. Mind you, my grace period is 15 minutes. At 10:15 I text her that her deposit will go towards her late fee, and she says no problem, see you soon at 10:20. 10:22 I'm like, do you have an ETA? She responds at 10:34 saying her ETA is 10:50. Y'all, when I saw 10:50 as her response, I put my phone down and I took one deep breath in, and then I wrote her a paragraph. I told her that I canceled her appointment because as per my policies, after 20 minutes, the appointment is automatically canceled and I have clients right after her. Then she texted me back asking to do a short, simple set instead, and that she has somewhere to be this weekend, just basically trying to change my mind and asked me to take her. I then wrote her another mini paragraph saying I can't take her today and won't be able to take her from here on out because I have to prioritize punctuality and I can't keep making exceptions just for her. This is at 10:45. Then she responds saying I was literally in front of your business, and then starts calling me. I didn't end up responding to the call, and I had to text her letting her know that I have to stand on this decision. But luckily, she just responded politely and said, nice doing business with you. And yeah, that's the story of how I had to fire a loyal client. And this should just serve as a lesson. Don't waste your nail tech's time or any service provider's time, because our time is literally money. And I literally could have filled in that slot with like 2 other clients that day. And the beauty of having my own business is that if somebody is getting me annoyed or I just don't like servicing them for whatever reason that may be, I have the liberty to not do so. And obviously this doesn't mean I'm firing clients left and right, but if you're constantly pushing somebody's limits and expect to still get treated the same and expect the person to still want to service you every single time, you've got the wrong one. Thank you for listening. Love y'all.
So 3 weeks ago, I did my friend's nails for free for her birthday, and she posted how she was so grateful, and some girl DM'd me, asked me if I did her nails for free, and I told her yes, and she asked me if I was able to do hers. So I told her yes, of course, to send the inspo pic and give her a quote for $45, and we set a date, and she canceled last minute, but I had already sent her my address and the apartment number. But then she texted me saying I was trying to set her up because one of my lash clients told her I lived in a different address, which I did used to, but I moved into an apartment. So she didn't believe me. So then I just felt the vibes being weird. So I sent her a screenshot of me sending my clients my address. And I told her I wasn't trying to set her up. And that I'd never jeopardize my business and lose my clients for setting someone up. So she figures out I wasn't lying about moving. And she would let me know when she would come. And I said, okay. But deep down, I didn't want to service her anymore.
But I'm a very shy person, so I didn't say anything to her. So now yesterday she texted me saying she's 20 minutes away. And she will let me know when she's close by. And I was like, you're on the way for what? And she was like, I need my nails done ASAP. And I was like, I can't take you in today because I'm doing lashes and I have another client. And she was like, it's okay, I'll wait for you. Mind you, it's 7 p.m. I told her I wouldn't do her nails. And she still shows up and knocks my door.
Y'all, I cheated on my nail tech that I've been going to for a year. Okay, she made me mad, and I feel like sometimes when you become a regular, they get too comfortable, and it be the little things, right? It be the little things. So essentially, what happened is, so it's two sisters. Now, mind you, I have been going to this nail shop since before they worked there. They are very young. Okay, so I go to one sister, and my sister goes to the other. So a week before my appointment, my sister had an appointment with the girl that she goes to, and we book our appointments in advance. Like, we don't do same day appointments. We book them well in advance, right? So 5 minutes before her appointment, the sister calls and says, can I push you back an hour? And my sister was like, no, the appointment is in 5 minutes. Like, what? And she was like, well, I overbooked. Okay, well, I've been had my appointment. Like, so you need to figure it out, right? So my sister goes, gets her toes done first, and still waits another hour. So why did you even ask me if you knew that there was nothing that you can do? But also, if I booked my appointment well in advance, how the heck am I getting bumped? How am I getting bumped? So my sister was very irritated. And one thing about these girls, sometimes they will call you and be like, can you come at a different time, right? But they call you like well in advance where you can make some changes. And if I'm available, I will, change my time, right? So my sister was irritated because, she's pregnant too. Like, she's feeling discomfort. She don't want to be sat up in a nail shop for an hour waiting to get her nails done when she had an appointment that she booked, a week in advance, right? So now it's my turn to get my nails done the following week with the sister, not even the same girl. So y'all already having an issue with scheduling last week. Don't mess up, the following week too, right? So when I called to make my appointment, she was like, I only have before 12 or after 4. So we settled with 4:30, which is technically the time that I would be off of work, but I was getting off early this day. So anyways, it's the day of my appointment. Today my appointment, and I don't get a phone call. I don't get a text. Mind you, she has my phone number. We're on a first name basis. But I get, basically they book this appointments through Square, so you get like, appointment reminders. I get a notification that says your appointment has been rescheduled. As if I'm some child that doesn't have other things to do. If you need to reschedule somebody's appointment, you need to call them. You need to call them and ask them, can they come at a different time? And you're rescheduling my appointment 3 hours before my scheduled time. So from 4:30 to 1:30. So clearly she had a cancellation because she told me before she didn't have anything. She only had before 12 or after 4. So you clearly had a cancellation. But call me. Freaking call me. Because technically the time that she booked me for, I would be at work. But, I got off early that day. Could I have came? Yes. But it's pure principle that why did you think that you could just change my appointment 3 hours earlier? Mind you, it would have been an hour or two until the appointment time. So you're rescheduling me to an appointment time within the next hour, 3 hours earlier than my appointment. Like, is that not, like, why do I not get the freaking respect of a phone call? You could have called me, girl. Like, I'm not a child that don't have nothing to do but sit around and wait to get my nails done. Okay? I've changed my appointments in the past because you've called and asked. So the fact that they had just did my sister dirty the previous week, and then now y'all still ain't got y'all stuff together, just did me like that, I went somewhere else. And I'm very happy. I just did basic nails just because I don't know this person. But the toes, oh, this man snapped on the freaking toes. And it's that simple to go somewhere else. Like, don't let it happen again.
And I just left the nail shop, man. Let me tell you something so funny. So I was sitting beside the girl. Mind you, I'm in the nail shop in the hood. But it was a little hood rat sitting beside me. And she got on the phone with her homeboy. On FaceTime, no AirPods. Phone all the way up, turned all the way to the top. And she basically, like, what I gathered from the conversation, well, I wasn't trying to be too nosy, but what I gathered was she was on the phone with her homeboy or whatever. They've been cool for a little minute. And she low-key had a little crush on him. So basically, at the beginning of the call, he was talking about this girl that he had not smashed last night. And she was asking all the questions about it. She was like, what it smell like? Was it tight? What it taste like? He was like, shit, that shit, no smell, no taste. She was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. And then they still kept talking about it. Then eventually she jumped into, you need to see what mine talking about. I was like, what? That's your homeboy. I knew it. Sneaky little roach. And then she was talking about, oh, yeah, my shit grip, my shit tight. I just got mine waxed the other day. Yeah. And then she was like, let me see what that thing talking about. Basically telling her to pull it out on the camera. And I was like this. But anyway, so then she was talking about, yeah, that girl, sneaky ass little girl. I was like, who she talking about? He was like, who? She was like, oh girl, my friend I was just with. She started dogging the friend out. Dogging the friend, completely not telling all the business to him. I was like, she's so messy. I bet she gonna talk about me when I leave. But it was just, she was on speakerphone. She was just talking about how wet her stuff was and how tight it was. And she real thirsty for the friend. She want the friend so bad. And low key, no shade, the friend ain't even that cute. Lips were ashy. Hair was dusty. The friend wasn't even all that. But, you know, gotta get what you can. But, man, that job was just so funny. And then the lady doing my nails being so messy. And they're like, I like your shirt. I was like, okay. Then she wanted to talk in her little Chinese language. Then the little lady beside her just keep looking at me. Then she was like, oh, what color you want? You want color? I don't want no damn color. Stop playing in my face, Jackie. Stop playing in my face. That's what nail shot. I was just dying laughing. This did it for me today. That was my laugh for today.
I remember when I first started doing nails, I was hosting a special for like $25 for medium and long nails. One day I had this client come in and she had brought her own nail tips. At the time, I had no experience with doing curved nails or extra long nails, and she wanted some extra long nails. I'm like, girl, that's not even part of the special. But back then, I didn't know how to speak up for myself, so I ended up doing these extra long curved nails for her for $25. And let me show y'all what they looked like, because this is like my first 6 months of doing nails, and they didn't even look that bad. Looking back at it, I should have just told her no, but I was in high school. Not telling her no literally slapped me right in the face. By coincidence, this client that I'm working on now had a class with her. And when she said she was excited to come to me, the girl with the curved nails was saying, you know, she ain't like her nails. They was too thick, and I worked out the garage. I said, damn. My client came to my defense, though, so she a real one. And when I was doing her nails, we bust out laughing, talking about it, because she was like, girl, I was not going for that, because I always loved my nails, period. It's funny now when we talk about it, but I definitely learned real early you have to stand on your rules. But the nails ate down, and y'all let me know what y'all think.
Sometimes clients can be very indecisive and picky and just impossible to work with. And being like that can get you fired as a client. So this is the story I got sent in. So this girl booked me for her birthday nails for the first time, and she sent me 10 different inspo pics before her appointment because she wasn't sure what she was looking for, but wanted marble. So the day of the appointment comes, I show her my marble nail work, and she says she liked it, so we do the marble nails, and she cures them, and then decides to tell me she actually wants to change the color to her marble nails because it wouldn't match her outfit. Well, I took off the designs and took out more colors. She found another inspo pic and decided she wanted chrome instead. So I do the chrome, and then she said she didn't like it. And did I mention we were 3 hours into the set with no design on the nails, and I had a client who was coming in 30 minutes. I was stressed, so I told her we didn't have time to do something complex because she already took up the whole appointment switching up on me. So she left with a simple design, and I felt bad because she was actually a nice person, just way too picky. And so I just charged her regular price, and I didn't add anything for wasting my time or product. I just wanted her out, LOL. But then she booked again. So I was a bit on edge, but I still scheduled her. But this time it was worse. So she chose a medium length. I glued all of the nail tips on, and then she asked if I could do them shorter. So we took more time to reshape them all when I could have just put short nail tips on her instead. But whatever, we get to the design. She sends me her inspo pics, and all the nails had a different design. So I start on the design, and when I tell you she nitpicked everything I did, she asked me to wipe off and restart multiple times because she wanted them exactly like the picture. Before curing one hand, I asked if she liked it, and she said no, that she just wanted plain Frenchies now. Her set literally took 5 hours. And she didn't even tip, which we all know isn't mandatory. But if you're taking 5 hours of my time. 2 weeks after the second set, she books again. But I had to tell her she needs to book another nail tech because she gives me anxiety.
Ignore my wretched fake tan I'm trying to scrub off right now because y'all about to see it. You're about to see it. I usually would not do this, but my ears are hot. I feel my blood pressure. Like, my neck is hot. I'm pissed. Backstory, I've been coming to this nail salon for years. I tip well. Literally, me and the guy that usually does my nails, he plugs my phone up for me and charges my phone while I get my nails done. And we joke and laugh the whole time. Keep that in mind. Like, I have been a great customer. I go in and say I want a toenail polish change and I need a refill. I had pretty long square nails. I did not say I wanted to cut down. I said I want you to shape them into a pointy almond. Whatever technical term for that, I don't know, and I showed her the picture. And she's done my nails so many times, I trusted her. Well, she has this hand right here, and I'm scrolling through Facebook. not thinking anything of it because I just showed her exactly what I freaking wanted. I look over and this lady has filed my nail down to where I ain't never had my nails that short in my life. I don't even know what she was going to paint. And I just sit there and I look at the 3 nails she's done filed down and I'm like, she's like, what? You wanted to cut down? I said, no, I wanted you to shape them into a pointy almond shape. And I sit there and I just stare at them. I look at her and I look at my nails and I'm like, just take them off. She's like, that's what you want? I said, no, that's not what I wanted. I've never gotten that here. Not one time. And then she, instead of soaking them off, I told her to just take them off. Instead of soaking them off, she got a damn acrylic tip and just went at my nails. I mean, they are horrible. I'm scared to even go get them redone because I feel like my meat is about to come through my fingernails. And I'm like, okay, I said I'm not getting a full set because she spent an hour getting these nails off. An hour. And today was the only day I had to come get my nails done. I have something very important this weekend. I'm like, whatever. Get up to pay. I get up there to pay. And I already knew I was about to lose my shit. She said $55. I said, for what? Just like that, with my brow. For what? And the man that usually does my nails is he sits like really close to where you check out. Keep that in mind. I said, can you do a breakdown? She's like, well, your polish change for your toenails was $25. Okay. Yeah, I always pay that. Your cut down. I said, I didn't want a cut down. Maybe I shouldn't have got loud with them, but they deserved it. Your cut down and your soak off. I said, you messed my nails up. We had no other choice. This is when the man comes in. I say, God, just leave this place. Just leave. He hollered at me loud in front of this whole nail salon. And he said, she didn't mess up. That's what you asked for. I said, no, it was not. She messed my nails up. I didn't want my nails short. I didn't want to cut down. I feel like I'm being so dramatic right now, but I'm fucking pissed. I said, just run my card. Just run my card. She slapped the little clipboard with the receipt and I just marked on it. Bitch. And the other ladies getting their nails done are just watching all this foolery. And I don't know what it meant to them. They don't care. But I was like, I will not be back here. I said, y'all are rude as hell. And the difference between the hair industry and the nail industry, not individual nail artist places like this. No customer service. If somebody didn't like their hair, I would stay till freaking 2 o'clock in the morning until they liked their hair. If it was my mess up. Even if it wasn't my mess up, I'd still fix it. So I guess I'm about to go to Walmart, buy me some press-ons. Because I don't have no time to get my nails done for the rest of the week. I almost started to cry. I cry when I get mad, but I almost started to cry because I do not feel like myself right now whatsoever. I'm going through something horrible and I just wanted to feel like myself. Okay, I'm calling to the bank to dispute this because I paid for something I did not get. So, and maybe that's not true, but I'm still going to try. I'm like, when their money don't go to the bank. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm dramatic, but, and I'm about to go on Facebook and blast their asses. I know a lot more people in this town than y'all do.
Okay, y'all, so let me tell y'all how I had to turn away a client today. Okay, so this client booked yesterday for today. Whenever a new client books for the next day, it is always just something always goes wrong. Okay, so she books, she comes, whatever. She sits down in my chair. Miss ma'am, why does sis have a whole medium French tip full set on that I never did? Mind you, the one policy, I have like maybe 5 policies, but the main policy I have is all new clients must come with bare nails because I don't know if you have MMA on your nails. I don't know if you have fungus on your nails. I don't know what. Baby, just come bare nails. It's just like when you go get braids, come washed and blow dried, whatever. So now she looking at me, I'm looking at her, she looking at me like, well, what should I do? I'm like, ma'am, the best thing I can do is reschedule you for 2 weeks out because I'm booked out 2 weeks. So, and she looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm looking at her like she crazy because, girl, it's the first policy. The best thing you're going to have to do at this very moment is just listen to my main man, Usher. And let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what you should do at this point. Give me like 2 seconds. What you should do. Let me just tell you. 1 second. LOL, did y'all like the joke? Okay, so anyway, she ends up leaving, and then she messages me hours later, hi, can I get my deposit back? Ma'am, what? You just took up an entire slot that somebody else could have had because you simply did not read the first sentence of my booking site. Like, what do you mean?
It's not hard to do a French manicure. If you work at a nail salon, you need to know how to do a French. Like, about to give y'all some free content because this is what a French looks like, okay? What gets me is I'm telling her while she's doing it, I'm like, hey, I want it like this. Hey, can you fix this? Blah, blah, you know, like, and she's brushing me off talking about, oh, I'm gonna fix it at the end. I'm gonna fix it at the end. Gets to the end, it makes it worse. I get you can't do designs and like other like drastic things out of normal nail salon, but it's a fucking French. I told her I wanted square. I told her I wanted them thin, and I told them I wanted the line curved. None of that is on my toes. Then she's trying to justify why it didn't come out right. Like, bitch, it don't look the way I like because you don't fucking listen, bro. And then I gotta pay you? And yes, I walked out without fucking tipping because who the fuck can't do a fucking French at a normal nail salon?
This is gonna be a story time on why I fired a client. Hi, my name is Mackenzie. I'm a 21-year-old nail tech, and I've never had to do that until now. Basically, this girl that was booking with me booked with me like 3 times until I fired her. But like, you would think, oh, well, she booked 3 times, like, you know, she must vibe with you. And I mean, yeah, but every single time I would do her nails, she had something to complain about. She would want like a certain design, and if I didn't do it the way she wanted, like, she would make me retry. And I was like, girl, like, I'm doing the best I can. Which, like, trust me, like, I want to do everything too, but sometimes it's hard. She would be like, oh, it's because, like, I really wanted it like this. And then on the 3rd time I did her nails, she asked me for my brush. Like, when I was a beginner nail tech, that would happen sometimes, but like, I'm not a beginner nail tech no more. You cannot just be grabbing my stuff and wanting to do it yourself. Honestly, I was just so uncomfortable at that point. And what really annoyed me was that she would always move, and I was like, girl, I know I'm not messing up because I'm messing up. I'm messing up because you're moving. I guess you could say that was me also just looking for reasons why I was like, nah, I gotta get rid of her. But low-key, like, I was trying to rush, and it just wasn't coming out good. So her nails were not coming out the best, and like, I get it. It's not my fault you want something that I can't do. And this is why when you have a client, you need to be honest. We know what we can do and what we can't do. And although I want to do everything, I physically cannot do everything. But also, that girl was not down for it. She was not wanting to see what I could do. And that's why I fired her. And this is an example why not all money is good money, guys. Yeah, I could have kept doing her nails, getting that bread, but she's just taking up someone else's spot.